Okay, hi everyone. So today I'm going to be discussing the positive politeness and negative politeness associated with intercultural communications and linguistics. It's super important to start off in a business environment because you need to understand and recognize people's thoughts and how they may take certain things, such as positive face wants and negative face wants. So, just to start off, that is a very important thing to realize in the business industry. Not only that, but in life in general. What is positive politeness? Positive politeness attends to positive face wants, as I've mentioned before. The positive face wants incorporate the phrases, yes, I am great, and phrases that ultimately show someone that they're respected, valued, liked, accepted, appreciated, admired, etc. So when someone performs a positive face want, they are telling these phrases to people to make them feel those adjectives that I've listed. So I think this is extremely important within the business industry and being business except and being within the business executives in the United States, because it can make your clients and employees feel more respected and valued by using these positive face wants relating to the positive politeness. So instead of just having your employees be another person that you see every day, I think it could be extremely beneficial to not only you, but to your employees to tell them that, they're doing enough, to compliment them. I think it's important to recognize that some people, especially within the job industry, mainly business, need to feel valued and need to feel accepted almost as a drive to keep going within their path and their career. So if you come into work every day and your employer never compliments you on your work or never makes any nice phrases towards you, it could be a little hard and you can be less driven to keep continuing on the work that they want performed. So just respecting and appreciating and letting your employees know that, what they're doing is good, or saying a phrase like, you are doing a great job, or keep up the good work. Those are all positive face wants, which correlates to positive politeness, which again, in the business industry, I think is extremely important because you want to make your employees feel like they're doing a good job instead of just knocking them down or just not saying anything at all. What is negative politeness? So, negative politeness attends to negative face wants. So, as we talked about before, the positive politeness attends to the positive, so this is just the opposite. The negative face wants, for a phrase, as an example, in Professor He's PowerPoint, we use don't bother me. So that could be taken negatively because you are taking the time away from that person. So within the negative face wants, the people feel the need to be free, so they just don't want to be bothered with anything. They need to be unimpeded, they need to have time, space, rights, etc. So it's extremely important for these people to not be constantly bombarded with things, instead to have time to do things at their own pace, etc. So a way to sort of start out with a negative face want and transition into a more positive side is to start off the phrase with, I'm sorry to bother you, but could you? And you could finish out that sentence with giving them an option. So could you finish your work later, and if you don't want to drive to the studio, you can do it from home. So it's starting out with the negative face want as you're asking them to do something and taking the time out of their day. But then you're proposing an idea that if they didn't want to take the commute to drive, they didn't want to take the time out of their day, they could do it from the safety and the comfort of their own home. So that is a negative face want, but you can sort of transition it into something else as a positive face want. So again, they like to be very independent and just like to do things at their own pace. That is very important in the business industry and being executives in the United States. So it's important to realize your clients and employees may resonate more with negative politeness, whereas they may like to be the independent ones. They may not like to be impeded, whereas other clients and other people may, like to not be independent and sort of like to be told things, although telling someone something either way is a negative face want. So if you say, I need you to take your time out of your day to do this, that's still a negative face want. It's just whether the employee is getting bothered by it or not. Another way to sort of transition a negative face want into a positive one is to again propose the person with a task or a job and say, but you're doing a really good job. So compliment them and make them feel accepted and like they're, really giving into the business. With this being said, it's important to conform to this and realize not only the needs of the people, but just how to be polite in general in the industry. So, conclusion and final thoughts. Of course, there are two face threatening in acts, in which one of them is a positive and the other is negative. It is important to recognize both threats, especially in a business setting, to make your employees, feel welcomed yet also respected. So it's just important to realize the differences between sort of telling someone to do something and then complimenting someone. As an intercultural communication consultant, it is important to make sure that businesses and companies have a good relationship with the people they hire and ultimately have work for them. If one cannot recognize the different face threatening acts, it may be taken the wrong way in a business setting by the people. So if you're constantly just throwing things at someone or your employee, it can get a little tricky as the employee may feel used or taken advantage of, etc. So it's extremely important in the business aspect of things just to realize the different face wants and the two face threatening acts, especially in the business setting, to make sure and ensure that your employees are feeling their best yet also getting their work done.